Vivid Nectar Podcast, episode 250. Today, we're going to be talking about Drake and 21 Savage with their joint album announcement. And then from there, the Jimmy Cooks music video, I'm going to be giving my review. We're going to dive into some numbers, some statistics over the past collaborations over the past couple years, and then my expectations for their album. So to start off the episode, Drake and 21 Savage have announced a joint album dropping October 28th. This week, a joint album. This definitely caught me by surprise. And to go in a bit of a side tangent, since 2020, when Drake and Future dropped Life is Good, we've been expecting, potentially, a What a Time to Be Alive 2, a sequel to the original What a Time to Be Alive, dropped back in 2015. Now, this was based on, of course, Life is Good doing crazy numbers. I believe it's already over 7 times platinum, potentially more. And music video snippets that we've seen both of them together in areas that we haven't seen on music videos they've dropped yet. So if that's still in the work, if that's something as far as maybe just a couple singles, we'll see. But I was anticipating a Drake and Future collab before we got anybody else with Drake. But to see Drake and 21 Savage having a joint album together, definitely a surprise, but it makes sense. Now, I believe I didn't say the album's title is Her Loss. Hey, final quarter. We're going from fall to the winter time. All the summer flings, all the summer relationships, they're ending. It's going to be Her Loss. And to go into the Jimmy Cooks music video where the album was announced, we're going to drop the review for it. Now, Jimmy Cooks doing great numbers commercially off of Drake's Honestly Nevermind that dropped this year, the only rap song on the album. It only made sense for them to drop a music video. I thought it was a bit later than usual. I was expecting within like a month or two they would have dropped it. But hey, I'm not complaining yet. But we got it. Now, the first half of the Jimmy Cooks music video is great. The visuals, as far as like the 9 different mini screens we have behind Drake and 21 Savage, give a great, striking visual hook to my eyes. The camera, for the most part, being focused in one direction. We don't get too many different camera angles, complements it well, because we don't want to go too crazy with the visuals. And then from, getting up close, going up far slightly from what my memory remembers. Hey, hopefully I'm not too off, but holds up well just having Drake right there rapping the first half of the song, his verse. Then things start to slow down a bit. We start hearing a different melody than what I believe we were expecting. Now, of course, I thought maybe they're going to be a little bit dramatic, slow things down before we get into 21 Savage's verse with the beat switch. We get a harder drop. But no, instead, this is a completely new and different song. And with that, we have the announcement of a joint album by Drake and 21 Savage, Her Loss, dropping again this week. I was blown away. I was like, what? We're getting the announcement in the music video? This is insane. Very calculated, great marketing at the moment, and definitely got me amped up. As far as the song being previewed, it sounds amazing. I'm loving the melodies. They sound heavenly, something that I'm definitely going to be driving through in the cold, hoodied up. It's going to be the perfect Drake track. Maybe, perfect Drake and 21 track to just definitely ride out to. But now to continue on with the rest of my review on here. The first half, dope. Second half of the Jimmy Cooks music video doesn't make sense and it's extremely disappointing. Jimmy Cooks has 2 people, Drake and 21 Savage. I prefer 21 Savage's verse on the track. I enjoy the instrumental better. I believe it's a lot harder. And 21, I find out rap Drake on his verse. Straight up. I love 21's part and I enjoy Drake's part. So the fact that we don't get 21 Savage rapping his verse on Jimmy Cooks just doesn't make sense to me. It's an incredibly successful song because of both of those artists. We're having a joint album with both of these artists. So why is it that the Jimmy Cooks music video only has Drake rapping? Is 21 Savage sick? Was there, I don't know, like a tornado ran by the studio or whatever and everybody had to leave? I'm not sure. But 21 doesn't rap his verse and the music video just has Drake's verse with the song being previewed from Her Loss. And as of right now, great marketing is having an impact. Surprise to all of us. Album dropping this week. amazing. Not 2023, not in 2 weeks. Like, yo, we eating this week. But that song that's being previewed, we're going to have it released this week. So for the long term, this isn't going to age well for the Jimmy Cooks music video, because the song that's being previewed, we're going to have the whole thing and potentially a music video for it. So anytime we go back to this Jimmy Cooks music video, I'm going to be asking myself, what's the point? Because my favorite part isn't even in the music video. And just to, watch this minute and 30 seconds of Drake performing and then that's it. Because the song that's previewed is already going to be released. I feel it's not going to age well for it. Doesn't really make sense to me either. We could have had Drake rapping. We could have had then 21 and then the album announcement. I mean, it just makes sense, right? Have them do their song. That way we could listen to the song being performed and then the album announcement at the end. Like, whoa, if you stuck from start to finish, you'll get rewarded. You still get the same surprise. You still get the same hype. You still get the same impact, but with a full-fledged music video that's going to, be able to have some longevity to it. Incredibly disappointing that they went that direction with it. But if I have to give the Jimmy Cooks music video review, it will be you going to your favorite restaurant, ordering your favorite meal. Your favorite meal, you're halfway through with it, still hungry, it gets taken away. The server hands you a menu of items that are coming to the restaurant next week. And then that's it. They don't even give you the second half of your food bag. They don't give you no more food. They just give you a menu and they tell y'all, hey, these are the items being released next week. Come back next week if you want to eat to fill the second half of your stomachs. That's the review for the Jimmy Cooks music video. Now to go into some stats, some numbers. Over the past, since 2016, Drake and 21 Savage have released 4 tracks together. Sneakin', released all the way back in 2016 as a Lucius single. From there, Mr. Right Now off of Savage Mode 2, released in 2020. Knife Talk, released in 2021 off Drake's Certified Lover Boy. And then finally, Drake's 21 Savage's Jimmy Cooks 2022, released on the album Honestly Never Mind. It's sort of crazy to think about, seeing how successful their collaborations are, that they've only had 4 up until this point, since 2016. So give or take, 6 years? So 6, almost about to be 7 years. That's something that I found to be notable. Now, to go into the numbers side of things, we're going to be talking about the most streamed Drake and 21 Savage songs. Like, I got the notes right here. I'm not going to get too confused with y'all. We're not going to get too choppy. But the most streamed Drake and 21 Savage singles is going to be Sneaking with 225 million streams. From there, Mr. Right Now with 219 million streams. I messed up the order already. But then we're going to have Jimmy Cooks with 268 million streams. And finally, Knife Talk with 443 million streams. Did any of this catch you by surprise as far as the amount of streams? And do you expect these streams to potentially just get even higher after the joint album drops? Now, what I found interesting is the fact that Jimmy Cooks in 2022 is already at 268 million. So within about a year or so since Certified Lover Boy, it's already about to get close to 300 mil. So we're seeing commercially that the demand for Drake and 21 Savage is increasing. Sneaking, which I find to be my favorite Drake and 21 track, to be released in 2016 and only 225 million. I get it. It was released back in 2016, but I felt as time went on and these two continue to grow, have more tracks together, that we'd probably at least be around the 300 mil mark. That's just me with the numbers. I was like, I was expecting around 300 mil. Now, to go into my personal favorite Drake and 21 Savage tracks in order, we're not going to get too choppy with it. Even though I had the notes right here, I still messed up. We're going to be starting off like my least favorite to most favorite. So my favorite 4 Drake and 21 Savage tracks, starting off at the 4th spot, we got Jimmy Cooks. Going on to the 3rd spot, we got Knife Talk. On my 2nd spot, Mr. Right Now. And then finally, my favorite Drake and 21 Savage collaboration, Jimmy Cooks. Let me know which ones you guys enjoy the most, enjoy the least. What's your order for Drake and 21 Savage's collaborations over the past couple years? How would you rank these 4 tracks? Now, to give a little bit of explanation on why I chose this order, as much as I love Jimmy Cooks, as great as it's been performing, as recent as it's been, I have it on my fourth for the single fact that the first half just doesn't hold up well enough for me. And at the same time, I feel the other three tracks are just better. I mean, that's why I got it on the fourth spot. Now, the third one being Knife Talk. Knife Talk, I want to say it's more or less the same thing. And as hard-hitting as it is, I just prefer Mr. Right Now's softer side and the melodies on that track. I find it a lot smoother to sing it to, and I just find more personal enjoyment. So that's why Mr. Right Now is the second spot. Now, having Sneakin' as my favorite Drake and 21 collaboration. All the way since 2016, so it stood the test of time. Yo, that beat is sinister. I don't have who produced it on here. I should. But that beat, every time I listen to it, you probably heard me say with some other tracks, but y'all, I get a meme mug. I want to put a ski mask on. I don't even want to rob anything. I just want to drive around going crazy. Having that blasting my speakers to the point where I need hearing aids or some protection, some headphones to protect it because I want my windows broken when I'm listening to that track. So those are my favorites in ranking order. Now from here, we're going to be ending the episode off with my expectations for this joint album. Because with these two together at this point of their careers, I have extremely high expectations, but not too crazy where I'm expecting a masterpiece, but enough to where it's just like, I'm not going to be settling for less. But before we get into that, to recap some of the streams earlier that I forgot, in total, Drake and 21 Savage have 1.1 billion streams together over their past 4 collaborations. 1.1 billion streams. This, of course, is accounting Spotify's numbers only, not taking into account YouTube or other streaming platforms, but to have 4 tracks since 2016 have 1.1 billion streams. Probably more now. The more I'm talking, we're getting even more numbers. Dog, stop playing, man. It's some crazy ass numbers. Stop playing. Okay, so to go back to my expectations, I would love a short, cohesive, and focused album. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. This album could be 25 songs. I'm going to listen to every single track from start to finish multiple times a year. Listen, it could be 30 songs. I'm still going to love this album. I'm that confident that they're going to drop such good music. That could be 30 tracks, and I'll be like, yo, this is great. Heavily bloated, but this is great. In all seriousness, I would love 12 to 14 tracks at the max. 12 to 14 tracks. Again, keep it cohesive, keep it unified. I want a grand intro. When it comes to Drake, I expect a ridiculous intro to the album. I don't want an interlude placed in the beginning like we had with God did, like we had with Honestly Nevermind. I don't want anything like less than a minute. Don't do that. I want something 3 to 4 minutes, Drake and 21 going stupid, going crazy, going ballistic. And let's throw Metro Boomin and start off the album. I don't want to hear nobody else on there but Metro Boomin to produce that first track. Specifically, I think we all agree with that, right? As far as features, I'm gonna be real. I don't think I want any features on here. The only feature I would want on Love Her would be a J. Cole feature. This would be the best. I'm talking about the best way to have another Drake and J. Cole collaboration. And that will be with 21 Savage thrown in there. Hell yeah. I'm all in for that. I want J. Cole to be the only feature on here. And if we had other features, throw in Future in there, throw in Thug. And I'll I'll keep it at that. That's good enough for me. But seeing as how J. Cole and 21 Savage together, yo, they some monsters. Let me tell you, they some monsters. But having Drake in the mix too, this is gonna be one for the books. Straight up, this is gonna be one for the books. So as far as how I want to organize the features I would like to see. Now, as far as some additional producers, I mean, Noah 40, Boy Wonder, we could throw ATL Jacob. You already heard me say Metro Boomin. And I don't know I want to throw in Wonder Girl. I want to throw in Wonder Girl as a producer on here, just for the fact is, why not? Why not have Wonder Girl on here? And you know what? Let's throw in a Travis produced track as well. Why not? Just because why not? So as far as the producers, features, how I want the album to shape up, that's what I expect. And then to end off my expectations, throw an album cover that makes me want to buy the album. I think the way 21 Savage handles Savage Mode 2 is a direction that I would prefer. A less Drake album cover and a more 21 Savage influence cover. Because I don't want to have emojis for this. Come on, we talk about a billionaire and a millionaire on here. We got mad resources, mad connections. I ain't trying to see no cheap album cover. Because whenever I buy this album, buy the vinyl, CD, whatever it is, I'm going to have to look at it every day. If I'm buying merch for it, I'm going to have to wear it every so often and be like, am I really feeling it? I'm probably not going to buy the merch if I'm not feeling it. A minor thing. And Drake, you guys have heard me go over Certified Lover Boy, Drake's position in the game right now, where he sees himself as a rapper. I would love to get some hits on here. Going on the softer side of things, we know Drake can make a mean hook, but I would love to see his lyrical pen continue to maintain the same sharpness he had on Champagne Poetry. Now, I'm not expecting, I lie. I'm expecting a little bit of Champagne Poetry on here at certain moments, but seeing as how he's with 21, we're going to be getting some hard-hitting tracks, some crazy bass. Not expecting him to go full-on crazy on here. However, I'm not expecting any less from his pen. Now, I need some Champagne Poetry Drake on here on these crazy beats. I'm expecting a grand intro and an amazing send-off. An amazing send-off into 2023. We know Drake, as far as his outros, to a certain degree, his outros on albums, again, having a strong pen and sending it off. This is the creme de la creme when it comes to, just sending off the album. And for 21 Savage, I would love to hear his singing become more refined, seeing as we're definitely going to get some Drake-like tracks, some OVO songs on here. Love how he went a little bit softer on Savage Mode 2. Would have preferred for him to done that in a different project. But as far as 21 Savage, his singing, his hooks have that soften up a bit more, continue that contagious atmosphere. And when it comes to sliding down on your ops, when it comes to the aggressiveness we get from 21 Savage, the ruthless energy, I want that on 100. I want that on 100, the same way we wanted with Drake having him feeling like a Yonko, him feeling like a El Chapo sometimes at his bars. When it comes to the ignorance, the aggressiveness, I want that 10 out of 10. We want that going ballistic. We want it going crazy. And overall, that's how I want to end off this episode of the Vivid Nectar podcast. We gone over as far as the album being announced, the Jimmy Cooks music video, what I like, what I didn't like, some disappointments, some highlights, going over some numbers, how I feel about their collaborations, and then ending it off with my expectations. Y'all, let me know how you've been feeling everything about this from your point of view, your perspective, some of the topics that I covered. Give me your opinions, whether it's through the DMs or the comments, or even you're listening to this on streaming platforms. Go over Vivid Nectar on Instagram. Give me a follow. Vivid Nectar on YouTube if you enjoy what I do here. If you enjoy, whether you're hearing me, watching me, click that subscribe if you haven't done so already. And to you guys that are being introduced to this video first, Vivid Nectar podcast. Hey, we're about to reach the year mark. We've been going crazy all year long. For those of you that have been supporting me, thank you. We're going to continue to keep going. For those of you that are new, we got episodes lined up, man. We got mad content for you guys being created. We got mad content on the backlog. We got original content being posted on Instagram as well. There are original reels that I post on Instagram and on the YouTube Shorts side of things. So, hey, what y'all waiting for? Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Alexander here. I'm out.